think we'll get started now. We're right on time, and I know we have a few folks that are finding seats, but I want to welcome you to the Putnam County School District Employee of the Year Recognition Ceremony. And this is truly a top of our year as far as award ceremonies, and this is something we all look forward to every year. So we are very honored that you chose to be here tonight and to recognize our distinguished employees. Before we start our program tonight, I'm going to ask that you please stand for the pledge to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated. Well, good evening. My name is Rick Cerncy, Superintendent, and it's a pleasure to have you here tonight and to recognize each and every employee who's been nominated as the teacher, school-related employee, substitute, principal, and assistant principal of the year. Each of you, in whatever position you hold, extend yourself beyond basic required duties by displaying initiative, creativity, dedication, and commitment. You give of yourself to students, our schools, our district, and our community. And tonight is truly your night to shine. And I'm going to ask at this time that all the people that are being honored tonight, please stand and be recognized. Thank you. You may be seated. Before we begin our program, we could not have this program tonight without the help and assistance of many people in this room. And I want to start off by thanking our sponsors who, without support, this recognition could not take place at all. Providing the overall winners a monetary gift, Georgia Pacific Corporation and Palaca Operations. And I'm going to ask Mr. Mike Griffith and Terry Hadaway to please stand and be recognized. Would also like to recognize St. Monica's Catholic Church and the Knights of Columbus, Capital City Bank, Seminole Electric, Source for Teachers, Flowers by Palm Florist, Public Supermarkets, and WHIF, Hope FM. If anyone is from any of those organizations, please stand and be recognized. All right, thank you. Thank you, Robin. Your generosity and support of the outstanding employees of the Putnam County School District is greatly appreciated. At this time, I'd like to introduce some of our special guests who are also here at our meeting. And I want to introduce our school board members. And I know we have at least three here. We have a quorum tonight. Nikki Cummings. Is Nikki here tonight? District 1. Sandra Gilliard, District 2. Sandra, please stand and be recognized. Mr. David Buckles from District 3. Okay, they have the wrong number down, sorry. Kathy Jorgensen could not be here tonight. I know she had a family emergency. And Miss Jane Crawford, our board chairperson. Please stand. And I was scanning the crowd. Do we have any elected officials in our audience tonight besides our school board? Any other elected officials? And I do want to recognize, Robin stood up a minute ago, but Robinson from Hope FM was also one of our judges for the Teacher Support Associate of the Year. So Robin, please stand again and be recognized as one of our judges. And I want to make sure we did not miss any other judges who took part and devoted their time to interviewing our employees. At this time, I'm going to ask all of our district administrators, principals, and assistant principals at this time, please stand and be recognized. Thank you, and thank you all for coming out and supporting your employees tonight. At this time, I would like to introduce Ms. Tanya Whitehurst, our Director of Human Resources, who will guide us throughout the rest of this evening. Tanya? Okay, one person or one group I left out. Thank you. That's why Tanya's here. Our meal tonight, the most important part to start off with, and I apologize, providing our delicious meal tonight are Muscle Whites and CP Deli. Let's give them a round of applause. And our sponsors who actually provided the meals are Bates and Hewitt Insurance, and their representatives tonight are Jenny Robbins and Corey Booth. Y'all please stand and be recognized. Thank you. And I see Nikki Cummings just came in. Nikki, one of our school board members, please stand. Yeah. Thank you for coming. And thank you, Ms. Whitehurst, for correcting me. I think we covered everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Surrency. It is truly an honor to stand here tonight as not only your Director of Human Resources, but more importantly, as your fellow educator and counterpart. I would like to recognize one more group of individuals before we begin with our dinner and the rest of the program. This year being my first year as Director of Human Resources, knowing that this event was coming up and how important this program is, I was getting very nervous and just anxious because I wanted it to go just right for each one of our honorees. And I realized very quickly that I had no need to be nervous or anxious or stressed out because the team in Human Resources have this completely figured out and down to a science. So if my ladies in Human Resources, they're back there at that table and over here, if they would stand, and please, everything you see out here tonight is truly because of them. All right, so we are going to get ready. I believe I've been told that they are ready to start serving. So we are going to begin with Miss Sandra Gilliard, one of our school board members and local minister, to come up and ask the blessing on our food.
Let us pray. Father, in the name of Jesus, we pause right now to say thank you. Thank you, God, for affording us the opportunity to live in such a community where our business partners care about the welfare and the education of our children, where even our florists, our radio stations, and everybody join hands one with the other. For God, they have it right in knowing that it takes a village to raise a child. And so, God, we thank you for all of those that will be recognized here tonight, God, as has been already said, that they have gone beyond the call of duty. And so, God, we've come to honor them and to recognize them for their tireless efforts, God, and making sure that our children have a safe environment and the very best education possible. Thank you, God, for all of us working together cohesively to make this happen. Now, God, we pray your blessings upon the food that has been prepared. God, as we partake of it, may it nourish our bodies and give us strength that we might do your will. And all that we receive, God, we give you thanks and we bless your name. Amen.
Thank you, Ms. Gilliard. In order to get everyone served in a timely manner, I will call table numbers to go through the buffet line. We would like to begin with our sponsors, our business partners, special guests, superintendent, and members of the board to open the food line. So at this time, if tables 1 through 4 would begin our line, and then I will start calling other tables as we move through. Look at Mr. Buckles trying to move tables now. Okay, I hope everyone has enjoyed that great food. Thank you, Muscle Whites. All that red sauce and that pink sauce in there. Whew, that's good stuff. Okay, we are going to go ahead and proceed with our program. At this time, I would like to ask Mr. Mike Griffith, Vice President of Georgia Pacific Palatka Operations, to come up. He's going to share a few words with us.
Good evening, leaders. Mike Griffith from Georgia Pacific here in Palatka, and I have to tell you it is an honor to represent our company and continue to be a supporter of such a magnificent recognition event. So thank you for allowing us to be a part of that. So I greet you as leaders because that's what you are. Each and every one of you go to work every day and lead our children or support the teachers that lead our children to make a significant difference in their lives. Thank you for that. We were reflecting on the Martin Luther King Jr. event earlier this week, or earlier this month, and what a great, great celebration that was for our community. It was just remarkable. And in the service after the walk, there was somebody that had a sign over on the right-hand side that said, "Love is the answer." For those that were there, you probably saw that sign. And I believe that's why you come to work every day, because you love our children and you're committed to making a difference in their lives. Thanks for that. We value you as teachers, and we're honored to be a part of this event just for that reason. I can tell you that Amy, my wife, and I, we have our oldest child is Ashley, and she's 24 years old, and she teaches the 4th grade right outside of Atlanta, Georgia. And she loves it. And after her doing that for 2 years, Amy and I have so much greater respect for your job. It's just remarkable the challenges that you're faced every day of the year. And I would tell you, you never know what you're going to face. It sounds like every day is very unique for the challenges that you have. But you keep coming back because you love the children. And you do make a difference in their lives. Probably Ashley's in her 2nd year. The greatest satisfaction that she has received thus far is when her previous year students come back to hug her neck and say, "Hey, Miss Griffith." So thank you for all that you do. We greatly appreciate and value you, and we're honored as a company to be a part of the community and to be here tonight to celebrate y'all. So for the employees as well as the teachers, thank you for the job you do.
Thank you, Mr. Griffith. Our superintendent, Dr. Rick Surrency, is going to come up and just share a few words of encouragement, and then he is going to introduce our next speaker. And if you want to follow along in the program, we're just going to go right through that program through the rest of this evening.
Thank you, Tanya. And I'm going to go off script for just a minute and just brag a little bit. Every chance I get a chance to brag about our district, I do so. But if you're not aware, Putnam County had a big jump in their graduation rate. We got news last week, 8.6 percentage points from the previous year and like 9 points the year before. So in the last 2 years, Putnam County School District has grown 17 percentage points in our graduation rate, up to 72.2. And I say that because I'm bragging on everyone in this room. Graduation rate is not about a particular high school. It's not about a particular student or counselor. It is truly this entire room, our entire district, because starting in pre-K and our K through 6 and middle school, everyone has something to do with our graduation rate. And even our local community, our business community is, benefits from that. So this is truly something that Putnam County can celebrate, and it's all because of people sitting in this room and people in our schools that work so hard. That's just a symptom of what we are doing in Putnam County, and we're truly moving our district to a place where you can be proud. I was actually in Fernandina Beach today, and I just drove here from a meeting in Fernandina Beach, and I was meeting with about 15 other superintendents, and I just so happened I mentioned the graduation rate to them also, because in case you didn't know that, Putnam County had the highest growth in their graduation rate of any other district in the state, along with one other district. So I think that's something to be very proud of. So with that said, I want to introduce last year's Teacher of the Year. And before I bring him up, let me just read a little bit about him. Mr. Timothy Stevens is a teacher at Ockwell Elementary School and was our 2018 Putnam County Teacher of the Year. He participates in the West Putnam Superintendent's Advisory Council, and he comes out and is an active member of that. Mr. Stevens said if there's anything he wants to be remembered for as last year's Teacher of the Year, it would be that he still is, and will continue to be a tireless supporter of the students, teachers, and all others who care about the awesome work we do in the Putnam County School District. So at this time, let's give a round of applause to Timothy Stevens as he comes up, please. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Surrency. I've always heard that it's good to start a speech with a joke, but I'm not very good at jokes, so I'll tell you a joke that one of my students told me the other day. This is a joke from a fifth grader. She said, "Mr. Stevens, guess what I got for my birthday?" I said, I don't know, Amaya, what did you get for your birthday? She said, "Older." I thought that was pretty good. For the last 12 months, it has truly been an honor to be our district's Teacher of the Year. A year ago, I was sitting right where you are. I was looking around the room at a room full of absolutely dynamite professionals who have dedicated their careers, their time, their lives to what we do. And as I look around tonight, that's exactly what I see again. I've had opportunities this past year to learn from the best in the business. I've had opportunities to improve my craft as a teacher, and I hope to continue to do that moving forward. What I want to tell you tonight is that regardless of who is selected to represent our district moving forward as the District Teacher of the Year, all of you have already been selected by your peers, by your colleagues. That's why you're here. You're all Teachers of the Year already. And even if you may not realize it, there's a power in that title. So tonight, as I come to the close of my time as the District Teacher of the Year, I want to issue every person in this room a challenge. And that challenge is this: take the platform that you've been given and use it as a voice. Use it to advocate for your students. Use it to advocate for your colleagues, your school, your community, and your district. People will listen. People will listen. Be a voice that leads and encourages others to see and, better yet, participate in the amazing things we have going on right now in Putnam County schools. Because I'm going to tell you right now, we are doing amazing things in Putnam County schools. The world should know about that. Before I introduce our next speaker, I want to leave you guys with one of my favorite quotes. This is a paraphrasing of one of Jim Henson's quotes, and that is, "Children may not long remember what you teach them, but they will forever remember who you are." And our students are very lucky that each of you is who you are. Thank you. It has been an honor to be your Teacher of the Year. At this time, it gives me great pleasure to introduce to you, one of my heroes. Tammy Jerkins is a high school math teacher at Leesburg High School, from where she also graduated as valedictorian. She's a big sports and music enthusiast. She can be seen at pretty much, is it 90 or 100% of all of the 110% of all the sporting and music events at Leesburg High School. Last year, this was a story I learned over the summer, Leesburg High School's men's basketball team was the state 6A state champs. And when they got their championship rings, there was a knock on Tammy's door because they were delivering one to her too, for her ardent support of her students. Students who aren't even in her class can be overheard talking about the virtues of this amazing woman. So without further ado, it gives me great pleasure to call to the stage our 2018 Florida Teacher of the Year from Leesburg High School, Tammy Jerkins.
You definitely had a great one right here this year. I so enjoyed getting to know him, and he has been a great representative of your county. I really am thrilled to be here to meet all of you, to celebrate with all of you. And it is so true what Timothy said. You have already been honored. You are the Teacher of the Year. And it's going to be so exciting to see who's been selected the next Putnam County Teacher of the Year and Putnam County School-Related Employee of the Year. But the truth is, there is no better honor than those that know you. And I'm going to tell you, they know you on your good days and they know you on your bad days too. So if they chose you, you know that you are one special person. You are all obviously outstanding educators and school employees. And I'm sure each of you brings your own unique style, your special gifts, different strengths to your careers. But there's one thing that I bet all of you have in common, and that's that you care. You care about your schools, and you care about your students. And that's what it takes. It takes that deep caring. The kids got to know you care before they care to know. And I find that teachers are willing, and employees too, are willing to sacrifice time, energy, effort, money, even sleep, to make sure that that job gets done, whatever it is. And I know that you that are being honored tonight, you work hard. You work really hard. And I certainly appreciate and applaud what you do, and you must do it really well if you're here tonight. I think that because you're here, you were destined to make that difference. And what I want to share with you tonight are two of my passions that I believe can help you make an even bigger difference. We'll see. First, number one, study, embrace, believe, and preach it. I mean, preach it, growth mindset, because it can make a huge difference. Students have to believe. They've got to believe in themselves. They've got to believe that it's possible to learn and to succeed. They've got to throw away that fixed mindset that their intelligence was only this much. No. They've got to know that basic abilities can be developed over time. And we've got to encourage our kids to push through that productive struggle, to work hard to learn and see mistakes, not as failures, but simply as part of the learning process. And you know what? It takes all of us to reach some of those kids. We've got to not lose any of them. And we've got to all reach out to those kids and help them believe in themselves. You know, research now shows that brains are malleable. I'm 58 years old. I was told this is your IQ and that's it. Well, no, that's not true. The latest research shows that when you learn, your brain actually grows in size, density, and weight. Yes, our students can grow their brains and they can get smarter and they can improve their IQs. But first, they've got to believe that they can. So we've got to help them do that. Second, some of our students need mentors. And this is Mentoring Month, by the way. Some of our kids just really don't have that academic and personal support that they need. And every single person in this room can be a part of that. Give that needed encouragement, maybe that little extra tutoring during lunch or after school, or maybe just some good advice that some of our at-risk students really need. And it just takes a little bit of time, and we can all find that time and make that huge difference in the lives of those students. The latest studies show that students who meet with a mentor regularly are 52% less likely to miss a day of school. 55% more likely to enroll in college. And 100% improved attitude toward their education. Isn't that what we really want? Get those attitudes in place. And I know this works. I know teaching growth mindset and mentoring absolutely works. I'll tell you a story about a young man I met several years ago at Leesburg High School. He was not one of my students. The football coach actually came to me and said, "Miss Durkins, I got this football player. He's a senior. He's behind in his credits, and he's really struggling in his math classes. He's taken two. He's taken geometry and algebra 2. He's behind in his credits. He's got to take an online class." He said, "Do you think you could help him? Could he come to your tutoring sessions?" Like, sure, he can come. Well, we got to know him, and before I know it, I had reeled my husband in to help me too, because this young man was a very nice young man, but he was at risk of not graduating. The class that he had to take online was economics, so my husband volunteered to help him with that. I volunteered to help him with algebra 2 and geometry, and we later found out that his parents had both passed away, and he just needed someone just to give that extra bit of encouragement, tutoring. And you know what his biggest problem was? He did not believe he had the ability. He grew up speaking Creole, did not speak English till he got to kindergarten. So English had always been a problem, so he struggled somewhat in that. But he just thought, algebra 2, I can never learn all this. Well, I made it my mission. I was going to teach him that, yes, he could learn all of this and that he could be successful, not only in high school but in college. It took a little bit of work. I'll tell you this quick. This is a little extra story. I don't have it written down here. I'm going to tell you anyway. One night we were studying, and we were now in basketball season, and he had an exceptional night the evening before on the court. And so his name's Anthony. I said, "Anthony, you really helped us win last night. I was so proud of you, especially those free throw shots." And he smiled, he's proud of himself. And I said, "How did you get so good at making those free throw shots?" And he just looked up so casually and he said, "Oh, Miss Durkins, we practice that every day." And I looked back at him and I said, "Guess what? You practice algebra 2 every day, you can be just as good at that." He looked at me, he kind of gave me that look. "Now, Miss Durkins," he said, "you really think I can learn all this?" I said, "Of course you can. You can learn this and anything else you want to learn, not only in high school but in college." Well, as it turns out, he got all those credits in, he graduated on time, and he actually went to college on a football scholarship. It did take him 4 times to pass freshman English, but he did it. And he doesn't mind me telling him, I did ask permission. But he not only did he get his bachelor's degree, he went on and got his master's degree. And guess what? He's a teacher and a football coach at a very large Title I high school in Dallas, Texas. And guess what? He became our son. We couldn't help him. We just had to adopt him. We just fell in love, and he loved us back. So, something, educators and school employees and staff members, you just never know what your future is going to hold when you work out of school. We got our 4th child that way. So, I do think that teaching growth mindset to Anthony and mentoring him saved his life. And guess what? I think those 2 things can help a lot of other students, especially in an effort to help close the achievement gap, which I'm very passionate about that. And I know that we've made progress, and I am so impressed. I did not realize Putnam County had the highest graduation increase. That's amazing, and it is great. As a state, we're at a 14-year high. That's awesome. Something else that we can be proud of, you may not know, we ranked number 1 in the nation for AP participation. And I think probably more impressive, we actually ranked number 4 in the nation for AP performance. I mean, that's certainly something to be proud of. And for you, I don't want to leave the elementary teachers out. So the NAEP, the NAEP test, did you know that our fourth graders in Florida, we actually scored well above the national average in both English and math. So we are making great progress in our state, and I appreciate that. But guess what? What about the 17.7% of students that didn't graduate last year? What about those students who aren't taking an AP class? Guys, we can't afford to lose even one student, not one. We gotta love them all. We gotta help them all. I just believe that every single student deserves people like you in their lives, people that care about them, you know, great educators, great staff members who will support them as well, people that will believe in their abilities and will generate support from families, from staff members, from community members, to make sure that every student reaches his highest potential. So in 2018, I hope that you will think about preaching that growth mindset and perhaps mentoring, and obviously continue doing what you're doing because you're doing a great job, but make that difference in your classrooms, make that difference in your schools, but make that difference in the lives of your students. They need you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Jerkins. That actually makes me want to go back into the classroom, Dr. Cernsey, just saying. But I do want to say thank you for just making me feel better that this little bit of weight gain is actually the growth that I've had in my brain. So I appreciate that. Okay, we are now at the point where we are going to begin our presentations for our guest of honor tonight. Nominees, I would ask that you please follow your program. And when the person ahead of you is being recognized, please make your way behind the camera, over to the right of the stage, and up to the front. As I begin reading your introduction, then you will just make your way on up to the front. We are going to begin by recognizing our administrators, then it will be followed by our teachers, and then the ones that truly pull it all together, our school-related employees. Our awards tonight will be presented by Superintendent Rick Cernsey and Mr. Mike Griffith. So if Dr. Cernsey and Mr. Griffith, if you would go ahead and come up and take your places, we are going to get ready to begin our program. Tonight, we are excited to add to our employee recognition ceremony our nominations for the Principal and Assistant Principal Achievement Award for Outstanding Leadership. This program was established by the state of Florida to recognize exemplary school-based administrators for their contributions to their schools and communities. This program honors leaders that have spearheaded initiatives to increase student performance, promote safe learning environments, and establish partnerships with parents and community members. Both of our candidates tonight far exceed this set of criteria. It is with great honor that we recognize Miss Mary Wood as our Outstanding Principal for 2018. Ms. Wood has been an educator for almost 30 years, and in that time has served in many capacities, from teacher, cheerleading coach, education consultant, assistant principal, director of secondary education, and principal. Ms. Wood is currently in her 7th year of being a principal and her 2nd year at QI Roberts Junior Senior High School. Whatever the task is at hand, Ms. Wood shows passion, commitment, focus, discernment, and grace. As well as the academic success of QI's students, Ms. Wood also places a high level of importance on the social and emotional well-being of each and every night. When asked what motivates her as a principal, her response is simple. When it comes to educating our youth, I'll never be satisfied. Our students deserve the very best we can provide. They are our future, and in Putnam County, the future is bright. And our future is even brighter with Miss Wood as our Principal of the Year. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Mary Wood. We would like to recognize Miss Diana Drew as our Outstanding Assistant Principal of 2018. Miss Drew is in her 8th year of being an assistant principal, with the last 5 at Interlochen Elementary School, and she is an instrumental piece of the success at IES. One of Miss Drew's favorite parts of being an assistant principal is building relationships among staff. She prides herself on being a good listener, which makes it easy for faculty members to come to her for support. She also realizes that it is extremely important to maintain a positive climate that reflects good morale. So she often finds herself creating ways to make the staff feel valued. She says that when each member feels important, they are more likely to work harder and be more productive toward ensuring that our students are successful, both in the classroom and in life. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Diana Drew. At this time, we're going to ask Miss Pamela Brown, our lead graduation coach for the district, to come up, and she is going to be presenting our nominations for Teacher of the Year.
Good evening. Our first nominee for Teacher of the Year comes from Browning Pierce Elementary. Mrs. Lori Yeomans teaches reading, language arts to our 5th grade students. When you are in her classroom, you are fully engaged in learning. Her use of brain-based teaching strategies creates an energetic atmosphere where students are involved in deep academic conversations and gesturing to explain their thinking, all while smiling from her constant encouragement. Her classroom is truly a place where you want to stay. She is a dedicated teacher who loves her students and gives her time during school and after, where she tutors, mentors students, and coaches our Girls on the Run team. Laura Yeomans is that teacher that children will remember for making them feel like rock stars. She's truly amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, Lori Yeomans. Our next nominee teaches biology at Crescent City High School. Angela Shayer is highly respected by her peers as a biology teacher in Putnam County. Her biology EOC scores are some of the highest in the district and normally exceed the state mean each year. Many secondary science teachers are sent to shadow Mrs. Shayer in order to learn from her pedagogical approach to biology and science in general. She has also been a district leader for curriculum mapping and progress monitoring for many years. Ladies and gentlemen, Angela Shayer. Our next nominee, Letha Godfrey. Letha Godfrey has been an EBD elementary teacher at E.H. Miller School for 11 years. She is dedicated to her students as she pushes them academically to ensure their best effort in all their endeavors. She incorporates centers in her classroom so that every student has an opportunity to be actively engaged. Mrs. Godfrey works many long hours during the summer preparing for the new year. In addition to all of this, she stays in constant communication with her parents and is involved with our community, always collecting donations for our students. It is easy to see her passion for the students at E.H. Miller School through the selfless giving of her time and energy. Ladies and gentlemen, Letha Godfrey. What teacher has great relationships with students, exhibits a passion for teaching, and constantly shares smiles while exhibiting a positive attitude. Becky Alexander. Becky Alexander is the 4th grade teacher at Interlochen Elementary School. Becky has a laser-sharp focus on student achievement, but what makes her exemplary is that she is on board with helping all employees and students. She unselfishly finds time to boost the morale of those around her while encouraging rigorous instruction. You couldn't find a more dedicated teacher. Interlochen Elementary is blessed to have a teacher with the heart and desire big enough to help everyone with whom she comes in contact. She truly is an angel in disguise. Ladies and gentlemen, Rebecca Alexander. Our next nominee has revitalized a once desolate, abandoned ag farm to a fully functioning educational area, which includes a goat pen, pig barn, chicken coop, hydroponics, fisher, quarter-acre plot for crop development, and a cow pasture. Jenny Hoke has turned a career into a passion focused on exemplifying the FFA mission to make a positive difference in the lives of students by developing their potential for premier leadership, personal growth, and career success through agriculture education. Students learn to put leadership, teamwork, accountability, and responsibility into practice in a real-world environment. Mrs. Hoke's students describe her as a mentor and a huge influence in their lives. In the words of her student, she will do anything and everything she can to help us succeed. She is very encouraging and pushes us to do our very best. She truly wants us to succeed and sees the potential in us that may go unnoticed. Ladies and gentlemen, Jenny Houck. Misty Woods. Misty Woods is an exemplary teacher who not only is extremely knowledgeable about curriculum and engaging teaching strategies, but is also masterful at connecting with students and developing nurturing, positive relationships that foster a climate of high expectations. While visiting her classroom, it is not uncommon to see children engaged in problem solving, using various math strategies, or writing diligently on various math projects. There is often music, movement, and always there is a sense of excitement and awe among the children at what they are learning. Misty is the kind of teacher everyone wants for their own child because she teaches more than just math. She teaches children life lessons about how to solve problems and get along with people. Ladies and gentlemen, Misty Woods. Sonia Guy. Sonia Guy has been teaching in the district for 11 years and has had many accomplishments along her journey. Sonia has taught PE, social science, theater, drama, art, and now a construction class, just to name a few. Sonia has also directed several class productions during her 6 years at Jenkins, with a few of them presented at the Pignotto Theater. Sonia has a high demand for respect, positive attitude, growth mindset from her student and when you go into her classroom. That's what you see. Not just respect for her, but respect for all who are in the room. Sonia enjoys teaching her students about performing and learning to apply the things they have learned in class to everyday life. Ladies and gentlemen, Sonia Guy. Our next nominee has been teaching kindergarten for over 20 years and has touched the lives of hundreds of students. Ginger Jordan's class is lively and engaging through the use of movement, songs, and rhythms focused on their kindergarten standards. She works tirelessly to ensure that each student is welcome into her classroom every day and receive differentiated instruction to meet their needs. Her students are her highest priority. Rarely do you find someone who continually finds obstacles to be a springboard for taking action to strengthen her teaching. Ginger is this person. She is positive, supportive, and forward-thinking. Her team knows they can count on her for support and collaboration to provide a successful kindergarten experience for all of our students. Ladies and gentlemen, Ginger Jordan. Our next nominee is only in her second year of teaching at Mellon Elementary School. Wanda Colbert has high expectations for her students and pushes them to greatness. She is always trying to engage her students in learning, and she sees every moment as a teaching moment. Mrs. Colbert keeps her students' needs at the top of her priority list. She is firm, yet loving, and provides a solid structure for student success. She strives to help each student reach his or her potential, both academically and socially. Mrs. Colbert listens to her students' problems and concerns and helps them to resolve their problems. Mrs. Colbert has a kind and beautiful spirit. She always has a smile on her face and spreads light and joy everywhere she goes. She is always ready with a kind word and caring hand. Never complaining, she displays love and understanding in everything that she does. Mrs. Colbert works hard to improve every day. She is loved by parents, students, and teachers alike, and it has been said that she has the patience of Job. Ladies and gentlemen, Wanda Colbert. Our next nominee is a teacher extraordinaire at Melrose Elementary School. Bethany Parker's students say that she is fun, nice, and teaches them a lot of stuff. It is not uncommon to walk into her room and find her students engaged with technology, working to learn science. Teaching is not only her great quality, she spends a lot of time helping other teachers at our school and in the district learning about new and exciting technology. Her ultimate goal for students to not only learn science, but to have a true love for science. Her students scored higher than the state and district average for 5th grade science last year. Students and parents will tell you that she thinks outside the box. She provides many hands-on activities. She makes learning fun. She is kind, honest, and genuine. Although teaching is a profession that many exceed at, for Bethany, it is a true calling. Ladies and gentlemen, Bethany Parker. Our next nominee has been a mighty bee at Middleton Burney Elementary School for 7 short years. Amber Fitzgerald has a placid exterior that elicits trust and love from her students. But under this calm is a drive that fairly ripples with intensity. I have never worked with someone who balances these two competing energies that both derive from her desire to ensure opportunities for her students without pushing. It is a steady drive to excellence. Part of this comes from a profound knowledge of people and the wisdom to use this knowledge. She uses it to lead her students, her colleagues, and any she comes into contact with in a way that both comforts and catalyzes growth. Amber Fitzgerald presents all that is right in education. She demands high levels of learning from her students. She demands that her colleagues meet her expectations, and she leads by example, all while building deep and lasting relationships with everyone she comes in contact with. For these reasons and more, we are proud to have her be such an important part of the Middleton Burney family. Ladies and gentlemen, Amber Fitzgerald. Our next nominee is in her third year of teaching English, language arts, and civics at George C. Miller Middle School. Melanie Graham has consistently shown strong leadership qualities. Her highest priority as an educator is to serve the needs of her students. Instead of seeing the challenges of our ever-transitioning educational system as a frustrating obstacle, she embraces them, learns from them, and adapts her curriculum as well as her instructional methods without compromising her values and her students' needs. Only rarely does one find a person who can turn problems into solutions with such efficacy. Melanie is clearly one of them. Meanwhile, Melanie is also a supportive system for our teachers. She is consistently willing to sacrifice her time to help support her colleagues when needed. She also takes the time to communicate and lead our professional learning communities. Ladies and gentlemen, Melanie Graham. Our next nominee has been a teacher in Putnam County for over 20 years. Most recently, a third grade teacher at Mosley Elementary School. Angelita Fales is always calm, respectful, and professional. She is a model teacher. It's no surprise that her peers recognize this by nominating her as Mosley Elementary's Teacher of the Year. The student-led instruction and engagement that goes on in Angelita's room can't be described in words. Therefore, we have often captured the learning that takes place through videos to share with other teachers, especially those new to our profession. She is firm but compassionate, all the while considerate of her students' learning levels. Her students have the desire for success because they do not want to disappoint her. Ladies and gentlemen, Angelita Fales. Our next nominee has been a member of the Aquila Elementary family for 5 short years. Sarah Model can only be described as a cool, calm, and collected kindergarten teacher. She is caring and gentle with her students, but firm when she needs to be. Sarah takes an active interest in the well-being of her students. In return, her students respond well to her engaging approach to learning, her genuine interest in them. Her students consistently show measurable learning gains. She has always made herself available to staff members as a mentor and a guide in areas where she has expertise, such as great learning strategies for early learners. Ladies and gentlemen, Sarah Model. Three words immediately come to mind when thinking of qualities for Teacher of the Year: deliberate, precise, and engaging. Imagine walking into a secondary classroom of our next nominee from the C.L. Overturf 6th Grade Center, where you're instantly drawn to the energy and enthusiasm being exhibited by both students and the teacher, Eddie Wiles. The environment is highly structured, where no second in instructional time is lost. Clear routines are being executed through student-centered activities for warm-ups, group work, independent work, and cleanup. Flexible seating is offered, where students have choice between sitting on bar stools at high tabletops or Pilates balls at lower tables, on traditional seats at traditional desks, and more. The teacher is explicitly teaching a standards-based lesson integrating technology, where students instantly respond to questions posed through clickers, where their class responses can be projected as well. In addition to his seasoned teaching craft, the teacher possesses one trait that is rare to most veteran teachers: his desire to improve. His vehicle can almost always be found in the parking lot prior to all others and after all others leave. He uses the additional time to reflect on and refine best practices as they relate to his current assignment, collaborate with colleagues, serve on the school-wide AVID team, and to seek out input from administration and other stakeholders on the latest lesson or idea he has about student progress. This teacher also serves as the coach of the 6th grade center's boys basketball team. He pours his heart and soul into growing these young people athletically, academically, and socially without monetary compensation, and has produced great results in a plethora of areas with these students as well as others. Ladies and gentlemen, Eddie Wiles. Our next nominee has taught in Putnam County for over 20 years and is currently a guidance counselor at Palatka High School. Marlene Ogle is very motivated and hardworking. She sees the big picture and puts her students first. She is compassionate and caring, and she always goes the extra mile to make sure all of her decisions are in line with what is in the best interest of the students. She knows what each of her students need in order to graduate, and she meets with them on a regular basis. Marlene goes above and beyond in her role as guidance counselor, putting in many extra hours to make sure her students are supported and prepared to graduate and enter the workforce. Ladies and gentlemen, Marlene Ogle. Our next nominee has been a teacher at C.H. Price Middle School for 2 short years, but has almost 30 years in our district as a PE and science teacher. Marion Omby is what is described as a teacher's teacher. She is innovative and creative. When she teaches the 6th grade science standards to her students, she collaborates with her peers, both in school and within the county, to get ideas and resources that will best teach her students. She is a child advocate and gives her students every opportunity to be successful. Although Marion works with her students at their level of ability, she continues to have high expectations for all of her students. She expects all children to learn, just not all in the same way. She changes her way of teaching to reach all students. Her enthusiasm in the classroom is contagious to everyone, including her students. Accepting on behalf of Marion Omby tonight is her assistant principal, Mr. Ted Hangel. Our next nominee, Sandy Bevins. Sandy Bevins has been teaching 7th and 8th grade English language arts at Putnam Academy of Arts and Sciences for 3 years. Using a blended learning approach, she teaches her students to be better readers, writers, and communicators, not only in English and language arts, but also across the academic spectrum. She is extremely involved at Putnam Academy, serving as a member of the leadership team, representing the school as the accreditation facilitator, coordinating the spelling bee, helping as an after-school tutor, and sponsoring the Builders Club. Sandy is truly an asset to our Putnam Academy family. Ladies and gentlemen, Sandy Bevins. Our next nominee is described as a valuable asset to any team. Mr. Melvin Poole teaches mathematics at Putnam Academy Charter School. He is honest, dependable, and incredibly hardworking. Beyond that, he is an impressive problem solver. who is always able to address complex issues with confidence. Mr. Poole is inspired by challenges and never intimidated by them. His knowledge of algebra and expertise in geometry is a huge advantage to the entire school. He puts this skill set to work in order to increase our school grade and to obtain accreditation. Ladies and gentlemen, Melvin Poole. Our next nominee is only in her third year of teaching at QI Roberts Junior Senior High School, but teaches with ease far beyond her years. Caitlin Bowles can motivate and grow all spectrums of our student body, from our gifted students who had heretofore never been significantly challenged, to our level 1 and 2 students who struggle. Caitlin's success is built on 3 components. First, she recognizes that a large portion of teaching is relational. When students know a teacher cares, they are more open to learning. She cares enough to set high expectations. She doesn't allow her students to not be engaged. Secondly, leading to Caitlin's success is her deep content knowledge and creativity, which allows her to craft lesson activities and design questions at higher levels to truly challenge students. Thirdly, Caitlin has launched 2 initiatives over the past 2 years: student choice and no zero grading policy. It takes a master teacher to craft several options that all equally allow the student to demonstrate mastery. Also, Caitlin has fundamentally changed grading practice in her courses. Her initiative was driven by the realization that giving a 0 provided her no information about what a student has learned, and it killed motivation and encouraged shutdown on the student's part. Instead, Mrs. Bowles has developed grading practices that allow for endpoint mastery. No zero grading doesn't work for everyone, but it works so well in her class because students respect her so much. They want to produce. They don't want to let her down by not giving an assignment their best effort. Mrs. Bowles has sponsored Interact Club, Yearbook, and served as a high Q team coach. As yearbook sponsor, she doubled the size of the yearbook, and sales were strong. We had to order additional copies. In addition to co-sponsoring our high Q team, Caitlin, despite having a 2-hour commute each day, takes the time to attend evening ball games and performances of our students. She writes Facebook posts celebrating off-campus events and achievements of our students to build a positive online presence. Mrs. Bowles is a dynamic force, likable and assertive. She has earned a reputation with students as the most respected teacher on our faculty. Ladies and gentlemen, our final nominee for Teacher of the Year tonight, Caitlin Bowles. At this time, I would like to ask Melissa DeRosset, Human Resources Personnel Specialist, to present your support-related Employees of the Year.
Good evening. We will now begin our presentations for School-Related Employee of the Year. Our first nominee has been a clerk typist at Browning Pierce Elementary School for over 4 years. Ms. Montgomery's role goes much further than the clerk typist. Stacy is the person who keeps everything running smoothly each day. She coordinates supervision of students and classroom coverage for any staff who are out. She supports substitute teachers and volunteers by ensuring they feel welcome at Browning Pierce. She assists with fundraising and keeps the staff happy by managing the Bear Mart. She can fill in for any position on campus and does so daily as needed. With a school as large as Browning Pierce, the value of her service is immeasurable. She is the heart of our Bear family. Ladies and gentlemen, Stacy Montgomery. Our next nominee has been an executive secretary at Crescent City High School for over 17 years. She is known by many people across the district as Miss Holly. She is one of those talented individuals that can wear many hats, juggle 5 things at a time, and still greet you with a smile and a giggle. Mrs. Sable never heads home until her work is done. She always receives compliments from others for her kindness inside and outside the school district. Ladies and gentlemen, Holly Sable. Our next nominee, Michelle Puckett, is a paraprofessional that works with our students with ASD at E.H. Miller School. She has built strong relationships with her students, parents, and staff, which can be seen in the rapport between them. She is always willing to help out with any task at our school and volunteers to fill in with other classes that need another pair of eyes or hands. Ms. Puckett is a true asset to our school, and we are proud to recognize her as our School-Related Employee of the Year. Ladies and gentlemen, Michelle Puckett. Candace Coleman is a fabulous front desk operator. She works hard to make sure things run smoothly and efficiently. She is calm, alert, and ready to handle all of the multitasking duties necessary in a busy situation. Candace can answer the phone, fill out a tardy slip, write a bus pass, and hand out a registration packet in the blink of an eye. She has a pleasant personality and a great sense of humor that make people feel welcome and at ease. It is a blessing to have such a dedicated employee greeting and directing all who enter the school campus. Interlochen Elementary is very fortunate to have her managing the busiest hub in the school. Ladies and gentlemen, Candace Coleman. Our next nominee, Sandra Key, is integral to the daily runnings of Interlochen High School. She is meticulous in her work to ensure the accuracy and integrity of student and school data. With no hesitation, Ms. Key has always helped every member of Interlochen High School, from students and parents to teachers and other staff members. She is diligent in tracking each individual student's academic data to ensure their success. Ms. Key makes it a priority to work with new students and their families to make certain the students feel welcomed and are appropriately placed in academic courses. She is a vital team member to our guidance department. Her years of experience as a data clerk have given her so much knowledge and insight that she has the ability to train new counselors and administration. Ms. Key is always willing to jump into any task and assist beyond her role duties. Her southern motherly charm, coupled with her work ethic, makes her an invaluable employee and keystone of Interlochen High School. Ladies and gentlemen, Sandra Key. Our next nominee is a paraprofessional on paper. However, Jenny Solomon runs the Media Center as if she had the teaching credentials and experience to do so in an exemplary manner. Jenny sees every student at James A. Long weekly and provides engaging activities that motivate every child to read. The environment she has created in the Media Center is beautifully student-centered and has become the hub of our school. Ladies and gentlemen, Jenny Solomon. Our next nominee, Rhonda Jarrah, affectionately known as Bubbles, graduated from Palatka High and is currently pursuing her bachelor's degree at Bethune-Cookman University and plans to continue working for the school district. Rhonda has worked in the school district since 2014 and has put many miles on her high heels as she keeps up with her students she is assigned to. Rhonda has never met a stranger and loves working with children. Ladies and gentlemen, Rhonda Bubbles Jarrah. Our next nominee is vivacious and versatile in all aspects of her job. Miss Vita teaches art during our specials rotations. She works tirelessly to ensure the projects the students are working on in art are tied to their grade level curriculum. Her projects and management keep the students actively engaged throughout specials. It is with great pride that we have Vita Crosland representing Kelly Smith at the school-related employee as the School-Related Employee of the Year. Ladies and gentlemen, Vita Crosland. Cindy Tillis greets our school visitors with a smile and is always positive in her words and deeds. She goes above and beyond her job duties and willingly shares her creative talents. There is nothing Miss Cindy will not do for Mellon Elementary. She is wonderful to every child, parent, and employee that walks through our front door. Her work ethic is amazing, and she is always positive under pressure. This year, Miss Cindy is doing double duty, managing the front desk and the clinic. She does it all with a smile on her face. In addition to what she does at school, Miss Cindy also serves as Mellon PTO president. She spends countless hours fundraising, shopping, and coordinating extra events for Mellon Elementary School. Ladies and gentlemen, Cindy Tillis. Our next nominee, Mary McKibben, is a quiet person who may go unnoticed many days, but the work she does for her students in Melrose shines. Her students say she is a very good teacher who helps students redo their work to make sure they truly understand it. She is very kind and loving. She is a go-getter who is always ready to help wherever she is needed. Her students reap the benefits of her love and kindness on a daily basis. Shine your halo, Miss McGibbon. Ladies and gentlemen, Mary McGibbon. Our next nominee is Mr. Everything at Middleton Burney. He greets each student as they get off the bus in the morning with a smile, and the personal connection starts their day off well. He handles all of our tech support, which is a daunting task at a school of our size and technology resources. He is ubiquitous that outside contractors have been heard saying, "We need to call Brad." He also runs our snack pack program, providing snacks for 100 hungry children to take home every Friday and whenever a need arises. He seeks out donations and has run food fundraisers and food drives in this effort. Brad is hardworking and diligent in every effort to be whatever children need. And for this, we are so proud to call him a member of our Middleton Burney family. Ladies and gentlemen, Brad Berardi. Our next nominee, the staff at Miller Middle, says they have had the pleasure of working with him over the past 15 years. Mr. Lloyd Nichols is the heart and soul of our school and has everyone's best interests both professionally and personally. Lloyd is a mentor to many of our students and is visible for many, both in school and out in the community. On weekends, you will find Mr. Nichols here at the school taking care of our facilities as well as beautifying our grounds. We can't express our love and appreciation enough for Mr. Lloyd Nichols. These are a few of the many reasons why he was chosen to represent our school as Support Person of the Year. Ladies and gentlemen, Lloyd Nichols. Alice Keith has been amazing since the day she was hired. Alice stopped by the school to talk about the position that she had been assigned as Mosley's front desk attendant. She walked in the middle of the hustle and bustle of getting things ready for the pre-planning kickoff and jumped right in. She helped out so much and even made a trip to St. Augustine that day for us. Alice hasn't stopped assisting anywhere she sees a need, and she always does it with a smile. We love having Alice at Mosley, and we are so proud that she was nominated as our Support-Related Employee of the Year. Ladies and gentlemen, Alice Keith. Our next nominee, look up Hard Worker online and you should find a picture of Tish Magruder. She does so much for the children of Aquila. Miss Magruder not only does a wonderful job in the health room clinic, but fills in wherever she is needed. Miss Magruder always puts the student safety and well-being first and foremost. She is very efficient, well-trained, and kind to everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, Tish Magruder. Our next nominee, Mr. Reyes, also known as JJ, is a custodian at Overturf 6th Grade Center. He comes to work every day with a positive attitude and great work ethic. His peers describe him as kind, enthusiastic, and helpful. Mr. JJ greets each person that he sees and asks them how they are doing. We are proud to have Mr. JJ represent CeLo as School-Related Employee of the Year. Ladies and gentlemen, Jose Reyes. Our next nominee, Ms. Burks, is a data clerk at Palaca High School. She has been doing the work of 2 people while one of our staff members filled in at another school. She never once complained as she spent many hours learning the new job while still doing her old job. She always has a smile on her face and a positive attitude. She loves the students at PHS and always has their best interests at heart. For these reasons, she is Palaca High's School-Related Employee of the Year. Ladies and gentlemen, Heather Burks. Our next nominee, Lacey McSweeney, is an inspiration to all of the employees at Price Middle School. She will work until the job is done. Ms. McSweeney helps wherever help is needed. She comes in on off days and when the school is closed to complete tasks that will make the school look good and be safe for children and adults. Ms. McSweeney takes great pride in her work, and Price Middle School takes great pride in having her. Ladies and gentlemen, Lacey McSweeney. I might need a little bit. Marisa Heisler has worked at Putnam Academy for 5 years, where she wears multiple hats. Marisa is officially the school data clerk, Skyward and school messenger manager, and receptionist, but as the face of Putnam Academy, she is so much more. On a normal day, she serves as school nurse, custodian, counselor, dean, referee, and crossing guard. Putnam Academy could not function without her. Ladies and gentlemen, Marisa Heisler. Our next nominee, Paulette Crawford, consistently goes above and beyond expectations. Paulette does an exceptional job with her duties. Her interactions with students is kind and humorous, yet firm. They all know she has their best interests at heart. Ladies and gentlemen, Paulette Crawford. Our next nominee, Robert Johnson, is QI Roberts' head custodian. He is a very professional and hardworking individual, fiercely dedicated to the betterment of QI Roberts. Robert will drop what he is doing to make sure staff has what they need, and any task placed in his hands is done as quickly and efficiently as possible. Everything he does is done with all of his heart and with the very best of intentions. Anyone observing can tell he thinks of QI as his home away from home, and it's more than just a job to him. This dedication was seen during Hurricane Irma when Mr. Johnson stayed on campus all day and night for 4 days straight to ensure our shelter guests and staff had clean facilities and his help if needed. Mr. Johnson serves in roles beyond head custodian, supervising students before school and during power hour. He is a mentor and seen as a dean by the students and coaches girls and boys basketball. Ladies and gentlemen, Robert Johnson. Our next nominee, Paula Horton, is head custodian at the district office and has done a tremendous job. She has proved herself as an expert and a prompt cleaning professional with great attention to detail. The amenities cleaned by her are always left in outstanding condition and treated with extra care. She has a polite and friendly attitude, as well as the ability to follow directions accurately. She likes to keep things tidy and organized, takes pride in creating a welcoming environment, and uses strong judgment and initiative. Fellow colleagues remark about the quality of her work and how the building looks. Ladies and gentlemen, Paula Horton, but Laura France, accepting for Paula Horton. Excuse me. Excuse me. Our next nominee, Tim, joined maintenance as the lead worker over 3.5 years ago. Tim's position comes with a wide variety of duties that include hauling furniture and tractor equipment to mowing and operating heavy equipment. Tim's knowledge and prior business experience make him a valuable asset to the maintenance department. Tim is a dependable employee who is eager to be of service to our school district and maintains a safe working environment. He takes the initiative to make valuable project improvements and is also focused on reducing project costs. Tim has been an added asset to our staff, especially during the recent hurricane season. Tim was able to haul heavy equipment to the school work sites and then assist maintenance employees with moving large trees off of fencing and repairing eroded areas that had been washed away by the torrential rains. Ladies and gentlemen, Tim Smith. Our next nominee, David Blair, is an incredibly crucial asset to the Media and Information Service Department. His primary tasks mostly lend itself to maintaining our devices and ensuring students and staff have access to technology. Where David excels his attention to detail and his communication with those faculty members on the front line. David ensures that the end user is made known of what the network or computer issue is, and he is certain that person is kept informed on his steps toward resolving the issue. Ladies and gentlemen, David Blair. Josh Spiker came to purchasing with a cheerful attitude, willingness to work hard, doing whatever it took to get the job done. No matter what the task, delivering Christmas presents for families, donated school supplies, shelter supplies, food for the Feed and Need projects, Josh does it all with a smile and willingness to please attitude. He has been able to do all of this while maintaining his normal day-to-day deliveries. We are both fortunate and proud to have him on our team. Ladies and gentlemen, Joshua Spiker. Our next nominee, Minnie Snell, has worked for the Putnam County School District for 32 years in various positions. For the past 17 years, she has worked in the ESC department in our file room as the record keeper and clerical. Her job not only entails these duties, but includes meeting the needs of these supporting staff on a daily basis. The tasks within the ESC department require a lot of flexibility in getting the job done. Nevertheless, Minnie possesses one significant quality to support that need. She always has a positive and uplifting word for anyone that may come in the office or that she has to make contact with. Minnie has a way of keeping you grounded in a tough situation. Minnie Snell has truly been a valued and cherished asset, not only to the ESC department, but to the Putnam County School District as well. Ladies and gentlemen, Minnie Snell. Our next nominee, Talisa Ledbetter, is a data clerk for the South, Central, and West areas of Putnam County. Talisa performs her duties at a very high level and contributes well above what is normally asked of a data clerk in the Department of Transportation. Talisa assists as a dispatcher as well as fielding numerous calls from parents and school personnel throughout the day. Although she works tirelessly with state auditors for funding purposes, she also organizes our holiday activities and transportation functions. Talisa's favorite saying is team. Together, everyone achieves more. And that's the best part of being on team transportation. Ladies and gentlemen, Talisa Ledbetter. Our next nominee, Sharon Lewis, is a school bus driver for South Putnam Transportation. Sharon always has a smile on her face. She is a very dependable person and always willing to help wherever she is needed. Sharon has a caring and loving nature towards her students, and she is respected by her peers, parents, and students. Sharon is an asset to our transportation team. Ladies and gentlemen, Sharon Lewis. Our next nominee, Samantha Corley, is a school bus driver for West Putnam Transportation. Sam has received recognition for attendance, punctuality, straightforwardness, and sense of humor. Like a captain of her ship, she runs her classroom on wheels over smooth sailing and bumpy roads with utmost precautions, making sure her little shipmates are securely fastened in, obeying all navigational signs and traffic laws. Samantha is a much-needed team leader on our transportation team. Ladies and gentlemen, Samantha Corley. Based on our partnership with Source for Teachers, we are excited to add to our recognitions tonight. We have substitutes of the year for Central, South, and West areas of Putnam County. Our first substitute of the year is for the Central Putnam area. Elizabeth comes to work every time she is needed, well before the time she is assigned to be here. She is a well-known, respected lady at Mosley by staff and children. She is always willing to go the extra mile. Elizabeth never has a problem being placed in any class or work situation. She is always friendly and has a smile on her face. She is the perfect example of a hard worker. Sarah Jean McDaniel accepting for Elizabeth Robinson. Our next substitute of the year comes from the West Putnam area. Mr. Raphael always shows up with a positive attitude, ready to help wherever needed. The students look forward to seeing him when their teacher is out, and the teachers are put at ease when they know Mr. Raphael will be subbing in their absence. He is always willing to substitute, even with short notice. He does an amazing job with classroom management, always follows the teacher's lesson plans. The students love and respect him. He is an asset to QI Roberts and source for teachers. Ladies and gentlemen, Gregory Raphael. Our final substitute of the year is from the South Putnam area. Mr. Herlong is always willing to substitute when and where he is needed. He always has a positive attitude and a smile on his face. He is even willing to drive across the county to substitute because he enjoys the students and schools. He does a great job with classroom management, is reliable, and an asset to source for teachers and the Putnam County School District. Ladies and gentlemen, Calvester Herlong.
Okay, so this is the moment that we have all been waiting for. I feel like we need a drum roll or something here. We're ready. The 2018 Putnam County School-Related Employee of the Year from Mosley Elementary School, Miss Alice Keith. And Miss Alice, while I'm thinking about it, one of these beautiful bouquets up here is yours as well, so make sure you get that at the end of the night. Okay, our 2019 Teacher of the Year for Putnam County School District from QI Roberts, Junior Senior High School, Miss Caitlin Bowes. And Miss Bowes, the other flower arrangements will be yours to get to take home as well. Congratulations to you both and to all of our nominees. It is truly an honor to stand here, listen to what has been said, and know that all of the individuals in this room, that we are impacting the future of Putnam County School District. And that means we're impacting the future of our children in this community. What an honor it truly is to be here tonight with you. Please remember that you will live forever in the hearts and in the memories of the students that you come into contact on a daily basis. To all of our event sponsors and partners, we again thank you for your continued support of all that we do and your generosity. Musselwhite Seafood staff, thank you again for your service and the amazing food that you provided CP Deli for the amazing desserts, and very glad to say that they are all gone this year. And finally, thank you to our guests, our friends, our family members, for the support that you give to our honorees. We know that education is a tireless, but it is so worthwhile endeavor that we take on every day. And without the support of our family and friends, it really could not be done. We hope that everyone has a wonderful evening. Please drive safely. Our district winners, Miss Bose and Miss Keith, we will need to get some pictures, so please make sure you hang around. Thank you all for a great evening. Y'all have a wonderful night.